I understand that it would hold water if Europe, who demands that we spend more money on the war between Ukraine and Russia, didn't spend all of their money, by the way, on Russian energy while putting tariffs on ours. We have a new confirmation here. Yesterday, the Senate confirmed a new Trump cabinet official, and this is a pretty big one. Might fly under the radar, but Elbridge Colby was confirmed to serve as Defense Department Undersecretary for Policy.
I know that sounds...
God.
It's a real thing, but the vote was 54-45, and then we'll show you who voted no.
On this vote, the yeas are 54, the nays are 45, and the nomination is confirmed. Under the previous order to motion, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will be immediately notified of the Senate's actions.
You just had to make it through two phrases, and you couldn't?
You had one job.
So there were three Democrats who voted yes, and McConnell voted no. Surprise.
You're an asshole.
Saying abandoning Ukraine and Europe is downplaying the Middle East to prioritize the Indo-Pacific is not a clever geopolitical chess move. It is geostrategic self-harm that emboldens our adversaries and drives wedges between America and our allies for them to exploit. Okay, I understand that. It would hold water if Europe, who demands that we spend more money on the war between Ukraine and Russia, didn't spend all of their money, by the way, on Russian energy while putting tariffs on ours. But let me ask you this. You're talking about emboldening our adversaries. Where do you line up on the tariffs with China? McConnell? Who's a greater threat, Russia or China?
That was written by a staffer. McConnell didn't write that.
No, of course.
His stroke brain doesn't know half those words.
No way.
I know.
No way.
Grok auto-corrected.
Filling his diaper as he talks.
So, Colby, just to be clear, he's a hawk on China who has advocated for, and all references available, links in the description, an increased focus overall on China and the Asia-Pacific, a decreased focus on Ukraine, increased defense spending from our allies specifically in Asia, and he actually made this statement at the confirmation hearing himself.
Taiwan is very important to the United States, but as you said, it's not an existential interest. It's very important. The core American interest is in denying China regional hegemony. What's changed, Senator, as we discussed, is the dramatic deterioration of the military balance. So my view that the combination of the greater threat from China and the lack of preparedness on our part, I have a different assessment with respect, Senator, about Taiwan's efforts. I think actually as a proportion of GDP, it's well below 3%. I agree with President Trump that they should be more like 10%, or at least something in that ballpark, really focused on their defense. So we need to properly incentivize them. So together, that means that my focus has been, again, with the shooting the flare metaphor I used earlier, Senator, to get Taiwan motivated, to avoid precipitating a conflict that is not necessary with Beijing, and giving us time and space to be able to try to rectify this problem, because that is my goal, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Quayle.
Pretty sharp. I was going to say, Mission Control, get a picture of him in the middle. He is the love child of Tucker Carlson and Ed Begley Jr. They had a baby. It's Colby. And for those of you wondering, by the way, Colby cheese originated in Colby, Wisconsin in 1885, developed by Joseph F. Steinwan, who, of course, named it after the township where his father built the first cheese factory. And that's been this week's Cheese Facts. Hey, if you like this video, you're still here, click there. Click there to watch more rebuttals, takedowns, and claim and truth videos where they're pretty self-explanatory in the title. I don't know what the thumbnail is. It's not salacious, is it? Maybe a little. That's ideal.